We are the party of the strong and the city. We are the voice of the voiceless. We are the protectors of the poor and the defender of their dreams. From New Fruta to Peaceville, from Buchanan to All Mines, from Sunny Village to Southtown, the city in the hearts of the people. This rally is a clear sign. We are reorganizing. We are prepared. We are coming back.
Yeah, that's the message. That's the message. That's the message. Coming back.
I say to you, we are coming back.
That's the message. That's the message.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pete, producer.
The white on the blackness for miracle. The star is for people black. The S for black people. Liberia is on. The Declaration of Independence was signed in 1847. 11 before we put us first people black. No star should it ever move. People who are over, we humble themselves and seek my bed. I will rise and keep on the nation. Like me, I will rise again. Nations will come to your rising. I prophesy, kingdom will come to your life. Together, we the truth. What's in your head, we will build our nation. And rise, Liberia, and rise, whatever.
Oh, yes, arise the place. Liberia, rise. Take a place in the country of nations. And I always say, and will say again,
Pete, producer.
irrespective of political differences, Liberia must arise. Freedom must reign. Peace and prosperity must come. Every Liberian must have a share of the national cake. If it is not at an equilibrium, it should be near equilibrium. Welcome to the morning edition of Bitz and Peace, the nation's every day. And when the nation's every day is on your radio, it promises to be infotaining. My name is Emmanuel Jala Griffin III. I'm the nation's every day. Remember Jala Griffin chapter 1 verse 1. It says, let's talk and talk and talk, and never shall we fight. Fighting shall not be our portion. It's on Monday. And you know today's date, April 14, in 1979, verse 5. Florence Chenoweth was the Minister of Agriculture under President William R. Tolbert Jr., a Baptist reverend. She proposed to the president for Liberia to go to the soil to grow its own food, not to depend on food coming from the West. And she said, if that happens, why it does is that it puts more money in the pockets of farmers. It decreases the money that comes you pay to America and other countries to bring rights to our country. It was taking other proportion. That was the start of a political crisis in our country. What happened? It crossed over 1980 when non-commissioned soldiers of the Armed Forces of Liberia, led by Sama Kayando, moving over coup and killed the former president. As I speak to you right now, young people from the Universal Library are parading in black. They are supers. They are commemorating the death of President Tolbert. What other locals have eaten, they will be restored. If I had time, I would memorialize this day and eulogize former President Tolbert. Where is my Oma Pearl Bramble? The woman is knowledgeable. You never see her one day and go free from knowledge. Every time you met her, she's about to give you information that you can use very well. Let me welcome Mrs. Kellen, the controller of the House of Representatives. Oma, how you doing? Welcome to the show. These are the issues following this afternoon. We'll take a few time to talk about it, not very lengthily. At 3 o'clock, Grand Nigeria County Representative will be our guest. Honorable Debbie will sit on the platform. We'll talk Grand Nigeria politics. We'll talk about development in county. Come back to Monrovia, Capitol Hill, and the issue of governance in Liberia on Joseph Jimon Boakai. What are their thoughts about the Supreme Court ruling? These are the issues. Congress of the Democratic launches a massive new payment scheme across Liberia. Former Liberian President George Manning those who think that you are participating in the 2029 election, we have to wait and see. What does that tell you? When we come back in 2029, that's the question many people are asking. What did SPL CDC Executive Thomas Parra criticize the CDC? Did he criticize the CDC about a due payment as being circulated on Facebook, social media? The CDC SPL Executive Thomas Parra criticized the CDC. We shall talk about that. Facebook is being inundated with comments proposed by Thomas Parra. But his office is saying he did not say that. His office had this in itself. And in my mind, I would say what is in our mind. Violations of the code of conduct, citizens' movement for change or more stability, alarms that UP government officials are campaigning for the candidate Samuel Koga in Nima County. But will Mr. Koga get the other seat? What is the will of the code of conduct? What is the office of the ombudsman say? A former honorable councillor Philip Kaga asked him, he did not answer his phone, been off. Let message. Maybe he will call back and tell what the position is. Supreme Court of Liberia dressed its feet in handling down fund of verdict in the COFA's Bureau of Information. Is a complaint to the tune of President Joseph Jimon Boakai. Or do we expect a non-partisan and unbiased ruling? Welcome to the show. Arise, Liberia, arise. George Wayi is the co-pilot. If I get that, he gets in the pilot seat. He flies the plane to the land of the unknown. The gas giveaway is here. Star 79 and hat. OK, sled number 8. Play with 100 LD and win $4,000. Star 79 and hat. OK, sled number 8. Play with $100 and win $4,000. 4,000 bucks and give you a bag of rice and 2 tubes. Another $300 or $400. Don't get weird to play. Welcome to it. Let me welcome my next team in this young brother, George Way. George, how are you?
Well, I'm okay. I'm okay, Jala.
I think you're on the wrong mark.
I'm okay.
Okay, you better.
Okay, Jala.
How was the weekend?
I mean, it was okay. And by God's grace, it was okay. And it's good to be here. After following two that's happened over the week in our country, it's good to be here. And I'm looking forward to the discussion on the show.
And so, what did this for the weekend? Banga again? You and Kudu
Saturday, I came here and I spent my day here on Saturday. Sunday yesterday, I was doing some work at home. Yes.
Okay, let's start the show with this one that Collins comes to now to start our show. As we acknowledge the guys who joined us already, then we'll come and delve into the issues. There are many. We don't take long to discuss it because these things have been discussed before.
Oh, yes.
The first time I saw your face, I never was. Baby, your smile takes my breath away. Niggas say I don't
Yes, take my breath away.
see you by my side.
As long as you're by my side, life becomes better. And you should be my girl for life, man. And Suna is asking you, why did you choose to go away? Who is making your mind to go far from me? That's what Suna is asking for life. Let me welcome the guys who have joined us already. V. Mohammed Sharif, good afternoon. I'm watching from South Korea. So, welcome, V. Mohammed Sharif. George Tio, that's George. Tio J. Brown, good afternoon. Veteran General, I'm watching from my reading room from Post Office on a unique campus of University of Liberia. The rescue mission has turned to a lawless Republic of Liberia under Joseph Boakai Rise. Damon Gono Flomo, I'm watching live from First Street. Fatih Sherry, welcome. How are you doing this day? She asked. Yakub Amara Kone, good afternoon, Jal. I'm watching you from Amagachi. Father Sherry goes on to say, thanks for the show. Jefferson O'Reilly, a pleasant good afternoon, Big Brother Jala. I'm watching for NT community. Many thanks to you and George for the good work you do. J. Mangel. I'm falling from Bangabong County. Thanks for the show, he says. Samuel Light Cooper. Good afternoon, Big Brother Jala and George. I'm watching a car with all thumbs up community. Lay. Hello, Jala. I'm watching from my car resident in Major Compound. Marriage Newman Jr. Good afternoon to the Voice of Liberia family. I'm following for New Georgia Junction JPM Freeway. Anyway, come on. Abdullah Dukle. I'm following closer from Mount Barclay community. Asata M. Miller, she's a regular listener and follow the show. He writes, good afternoon, Mr. Grayfield and Brother George. I'm watching live from Red Light Market. Good to be on the show, she writes. Robbie M. Bar, good afternoon, Mr. Grayfield and George. Following from Bujo Island, Monrovia, the Unity Party and officials. Appointees have decided to frequently violate the code of conduct by involving themselves into campaign activities. What a sad day. Prince Tewa. Good afternoon, Voice of Liberia. Yeah, Prince Tewa watching from Banga City, Bon County. Welcome, Prince. Honorable Melvin Court District. Sunday from good afternoon, Jala, and the peace loving people of Liberia. Sunday F. Flomo falling from Bon County, Phoebe Escape. Never caught. Caught to never. Former Deputy Director General at the National Lottery is calling us this afternoon. Oh, what's going on? Anyway, where have you gone? Sooner? You cannot run away from us. Sooner. You cannot go away. Yeah, he said, oh, don't worry. Mr. Dante is coming back. Yes, Tuna is here. Tuna is right here. SF Flow. Good afternoon, Cousin Robert. I'm watching from Bon County. Thank you for the show and a great job you grew for our country. It's Eki Flow. Chesapeake Shen. Good afternoon, Big Brother Jolly. I'm calling from Sinka. He is a chauffeur for the on-road desert number 15, Abubana Kamara. And who owns a desert number 15? Good afternoon to you, Abubana Kamara. Hello, Kumanina. Jadi M. Singh. I'm calling from Duazo. Nima Intellectual Para. Washington, Ghana City, Nima County. Very truly good afternoon. From desert number 13, Jindu, Georgia Estate. John David Nakwaya Paulo. Watching from Banga City, Bon County. Library going down the drain, he said. Romeo Keyboard. Falling from Boulevard. Winkins D. Boyman. Washington Cowell. Ben Soiree. Good afternoon, brother Jala and brother Josh. I'm calling from Amagashi Community, Jacobtown. Thinking Spada. Good afternoon from my end. I'm watching from Israel in Jerusalem. Jenkins, Father, welcome. Unless there are destruction going in Gaza and the killing of Palestinians, it is troubling. Israel, the land of peace, God's people. Welcome to the show. It's a beautiful Monday afternoon. And my name is Jala Griffith Buckeye Tamindo, watching live from Providence, Rhode Island, USA. Thanks to the nation's every day. He rise. Buckeye Pian Tamindo. Welcome, my dear brother. Even though we have businesses, and if those businesses are taking care of today, then you will see me flying with Jeff Booker coming to America, and I'll defy Tom's territory. Harris Saki, good afternoon. From the Kakara State, Maggie County, the precise Water community. Augustus Gabriel J. Washington from Toronto, Italy. Welcome, my brother. Welcome to you. And let me welcome Cyril Johnson from Tutapon County. Watching us. Samuel, that's Samuel Sumpong Seon. Good afternoon. Watching from the office, my office, this keep out the good work he said. So, George, let's move on. You know, the last few days, and last week, violation by the motorcyclists who are going to the no-go zone. And we have flagged that. Welcome D. Colonels Bala, Washington Painesville, Marcus Sao, following Makara, Magibi Kennedy, Amson Davis also has joined us. Benjamin Kroma has joined us from Looking Town, Broad Street. J. Amson Davis joined us from Ghana City, Bon County. Welcome, every one of you. So we have flagged over and over again, and we asked the police inspector general that what is happening right now. There are so many motorcyclists who are disenfranchised. They were asked to put their bag, get all their safety gears and everything, but the government took a decision that they shouldn't fly the street of Monrovia. The guys agreed. Even though I'm one of those who the government's attitude or the government's decision to this bad even coming to Monrovia because of the way they behave. But if I support that, you can have few motorcyclists violating the laws. And you stated the other day that there are some police officers who have motorbikes. And the guys are riding for them. How dare you see a motorcyclist with two passengers on board passes through from my house and comes to town. He goes back and nobody dare to arrest him. So we place these things on the microphones, and the police authorities have taken a decision. Guess what, George? While I was driving to town this afternoon at 12 o'clock, I saw PS officers wearing the order here with the thing that activity on their knees and all on here everything. And they've been looking so fearful. There were two officers right there at my house. One was around, I would say, around supermarket, and the other one was in front there. Even motorcycles are conveying food from restaurants, stopping them. And I didn't see the usual ply of motorbikes on the street of Monrovia in the go zone area I saw before. What it tells me is that the police authorities have listened because the radio or the media is a powerful tool. It's a powerful tool. Once you use it, it gives information. You know, it goes across the whole country. So it is instantaneous. It moves very fast. So the police authorities listen and they have put in measures to stop that. So I must say thank you to the police. Even though we'll have some issues with the police every other time. But when they do the needful, thank you to them because this is our Liberia. And you see young girls, they are the one asking the guys to violate the traffic law. You only say women behind the women can sit behind you. Those young girls. Though if journalists are on the motorbike, they're picking it. I said, but police stopping them now. Very good, thank you. But Georgia's move on. Yesterday on Saturday was a rally at the CDC. And that rally was intended to raise, not rally, it was a due payment scheme intended to ensure that all of those who are lying with the CDC, whether you are wear chain or a physician or who's on a chain or a supporter of the CDC, you must move in at the CDC headquarters and form part of a due payment scheme that runs from now till 2029 or 2028. What that does, it gives the CDC a very good appreciation of what we're going to do in 2029 in terms of election. So if every partisan pays $5 or $100 and up to around the 2029, 2026, 2028, and if they are committed in paying those monies, whether it's US dollar or Liberian dollars, it puts the CDC in a relatively good frame of mind to battle to see what comes their way. And I hear people say, oh, the people they didn't get money, getting broke. So I mean, I thought you don't have a much chance. They don't want me to look at the circumstance.
Yeah, honestly, Jala, I followed Mo Ali after the TDC had a rally. Their due payment was on Facebook and on Twitter archive for the improvement in economic, said too many things. But sometimes people do kind of post get interested in the comments.
Yeah.
And I like the way he was whipped.
He was
but
beaten.
again, just go on Mo Ali page and you check his post yesterday.
We're not friends on Facebook.
Honestly speaking, it was good that the former president also responded to some of the questions that has been asked in the panel. But he will make a comeback. He did it in the night. He made that clear. But again, I followed too many of our brothers criticizing the occasion held by the yesterday, saying it was not important to have that event held yesterday and all of that. But look, Jala, it just tells you that Liberian the attire with this party government. From what I saw yesterday, from the turnout and those ordinary Liberians, making their contribution, paying their dues yesterday to the CDC is a sound that you cannot take for granted. It tells us that Liberians they getting the lawlessness of the Jala. And what I foresee is that 2029 might not even get involved deeply with campaign. From what I saw yesterday, the Unity Party, they to be careful. They have to be careful. See what they started doing, you know, behaving lawless, doing things that are not to be done. But from what I saw yesterday, I don't know how many years ago, I've not seen it. To see, Liberians just go to party headquarters and say, we'll bring out $5 or $10 to ride it behind this person to ensure that he or she comes back to the presidency. It's something surpassing, John. It's
And
looking like
I
the people
was I was
are
shocked. I was shocked yesterday. The pronouncement of President George Weah, former President George Weah, to have considered defeat without consulting, as many people say, consulting the partisans. In anything you do, you can consult everybody.
Mhm.
But the former president has his political entourage that sits around him, his kitchen cabinets. Didn't have to go and ask the physician, say, I should give him the vote to Joseph Boga. They would say no. Some people say yes, some people say no. So he sat and talked to his kitchen cabinet, likes of Eugene Yangbe, former Prime Minister Master Kimaya, and others. He talked to them. The way things are going, he heard his comment. It's a man that embraces peace and crisis or conflict. So we didn't have to consult anybody. I had a friend who said, "Yo, we are so everyone job me." I said, why? He said, they may consider defeat 17,000 votes. Why did he do that? The man saw that Buni. He did it for the sake of peace. But the decision he took at the time to have given peace to Liberia than conflict, where many people who have died as a result of crisis in this country, political tension elsewhere, it was better than giving only only onto the presidency, and people dying. So we are emerged yesterday. I was shocked yesterday that the number of people I saw at the CDC headquarters was almost the number of people I saw there every time when it's campaign political rallies there. 1 year, 3 months ago, these enchanted citizens who thought that we actually have given support, not giving the vote to Joseph Boakai, they simply emerged.
Mhm.
I saw an old man whose foot was posted for 7 seconds. He's disabled in a wheelchair. He had gone to pay just $400 the CDC. I was like, wow. But this is my thought. The last time I checked, the party folks were talking about selling t-shirts for the sustenance of the party as well as people all year. The politicians were putting on Facebook, they're making mockery of it just as they made mockery of Georgia before. This country is too small, and every time something happens, it's just like what happened at RIA. The guys are saying to a winter time, they play and they almost crash because it went off. But what happened one time. But honor Joseph Newman Walker, at this time, there have been 3 or 2 power outages at the RIA in one flooding situation. So because you did the weird one, when it came to your time, the citizens are posting all kind of pictures on Facebook, also describing what you're doing as ineptitude. Once we decide to be political or everything, the other side will be political. So what happened was they are running with on Facebook. Oh, we are people. And they go waste money because they got broke. SYZ. But it is a fiduciary responsibility of every citizen that subscribes with any institution, whether it is a political party or social movement or whatsoever, to pay due. So due payments have been taking place in the various parties. Yesterday, when you're putting on the t-shirt sale here, we have people against, the opposition poll, they move, they get broke. Today, CDC, right? They say the same thing, right? So this is what will happen. Once you are not there, you want to find fund for your political movement later on in the future, the guys are going to criticize. But I saw the crowd. I was like, "Oh, seditions are at their peak again." And that was a good thing. And person we asked comment yesterday, former person we asked comment yesterday was not a comment that incited people. He didn't incite people. He was saying the truth to the people of Liberia. And he said to them, those who say I will not contest in 2029, watch out for 2029. In other words, person we has opened, he has spilled the bean already. He has opened a can of worms. That George Mane open the say Kozi for the Quran. That we are would be on a ballot paper until the
Mhm.
so that I laid a fear who think you're not contest. What I gave so you need to find it now is way harder. But I think that was a good movement yesterday. And what it does, I was driving last year going home in my community in Johnson, there is a young man calling Tama. So he said he's sick, not too well. He had a sore his foot. The guy said, I just not place. I said, where? Because he had a case with I said, with the people that you he said, no, but help us. So he pulled out his paper and was $600 receipt. I said, well, he said, my dear people, for January. He said, next January, for next month, I'll open another one. So I'll be paying small. So people from various communities went to pay their dues.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, wow, people turn out. I saw you got called about that.
Yeah.
He said he paid $1, $200 too. So John went away. Well, he said he paid for one year. So 1 year around 1,000, 1,000 here. Wife to do 2,000. But this is a political process. I just think that Joey doesn't have money to pay more than $8,000 or 10,000. But he wants to follow the same what he has to do. So every time we do things, you need to party the day before just show he was criticized. We are as unit to need to criticize. As a country, we find ourselves. It is a win-win situation. Like welcome, Nina here, welcome. Good morning, guys. At the end of North Dakota of Fargo, welcome, Nina here. We've been following you from Gardnersville, welcome, and the residents. Lawrence Quete, welcome from Boncante, but he said Boncante, yes. Jeff Kuyate, welcome. He said, why are you always against motorcyclists? I'm not. I will not be. Myself, I've been having motorcycles. I bought 8 motorcycles. The guys who run the motorcycle for me. And you know what? I will never know before. Even when I was on they sold it, they killed. Yeah, my man. So if I were against motorcycles, I will not buy a motorcycle
Yeah.
for you. Yeah,
You're not
so yeah, the last motorcycle again. When one young man was very faithful to me, the guy bought a motorcycle for me. After 3 months, he reported the money. Oh, another one for you, get the other one to your brother. God bless the guy. After 2 months, the man won DV. When Michael is going to the States. We are going to the States, thank you for the support you gave me. Because of that, other 2 months supposed to for me, I can pay my ticket money to go to America. Yes, a young humble guy from Michael. So I'm not against motorcycles. Welcome to you guys, every one of you. Miracle, you heard their heart. We pay our dues, our party CDC. Miracle, welcome. CDC Success Public Creator for Life. Welcome to the show as well. Good afternoon, Voice of Liberia. From people rescue turn to big excuse, manage expectation for 2029. Did waiter. The nation's having a day, and we get here. The government road on promises, yet no prosperity, no light, no clean water, no salary boost. They bash President George Manawiya, and now the people see clearly. Hey, God bless the people. Avino. Good afternoon, Fossil Liberia. Watching from Bangasene Bonk to welcome. Let's move in. George, I saw something on Facebook. It's just in continuation of what we're talking about CDC, right? About Thomas Bangat who was expelled, quote unquote, by the CDC. And I sat on this radio, one of those who said, if I were one of the CDC executives, I wouldn't have allowed the guys to expel Thomas. Reason being, you have to leave room for reconciliations ahead. So he was expelled from the party. One of the guys who made some contributions to CDC. He was instrumental in making local county fall to CDC during the senatorial elections. About a lot of power. He made CDC so very, very vibrant in the last election. But just about the power. So there are people on Facebook who write on Facebook say criticize the due payment process at the headquarters. I was thinking, should this be the Thomas Fala due that CDC brought the power? I don't think he can be the Thomas Fala. Because 2005, I was in Springfield. For like myself, we're in Israel, some people there. I was a newscaster with Veritas, very young newscaster, 2005. I read Veritas. Then he was at the playing field selling playing. I won't say the rest of the thing that happened that night to partner company. We met one night around Kobacha Fee, where after Kobacha Fee was a small place. We met with 8 eggs together with the bread. He told me that message that I would contest for the district seat. I said, Mohammed Shari there. This man is a chief medical officer of GFK. He get money more than you. So for like others, like the George Musu Freeman, the Anna Brain and others, I'm told that they were the first people that George gave money to register because they did not have money to register. So they became victorious in election. So eventually let the same fee. So this Facebook is attributing this to Fala. I'll read it everything. They collected our people's money, $1, just for one person to see it again. But the day I paid, let me go crazy. That's a post that is passed on Facebook. Attributing to Thomas Fala. So when I saw it, I said, and I came here after about briefly, and I said, my young brother, Fala may have his own way. Fala is not a Facebooker. I don't want to believe that this is Fala. And I did all the tracing for the people as well. Then I phoned his chief of office staff, Mr. Peter Beeman. And I asked him, I said, what am I seeing on Facebook? You were there? He said, Jala, that is not for Thomas. Someone that had his page earlier, every time they place this on Facebook, and they both make mockery of him, they take it down. Other guys are putting it on Facebook. But for me, I said that it's not true. In a worst case scenario, Fala is a son of George Weah. George Weah made him politically as evidence of what he has, his income, not income, I mean his assets, everything. We Lord Fala is the most experienced lawmaker on Capitol Hill. 2205 to this time, nobody is called Fala. Even a snow on the same spree. It didn't snow. But Fala, even if he had differences with George Weah, one face when write this report. Someone say he wrote. It's symbolic. You know, SMAL, you as symbolic means somebody is my own way of pointing so that a small ball brain. And Father will not do that. I was one of those who said to the CDC that Father should not be expelled from the CDC because there's a room for reconciliation. People say, oh, Father, the president wanted Father house, and Father not giving access to your house. I have not verified that. I talked to citizens, SYC, they said some people said it's true, but people say not true. But Father, if you deny George, you have a going to his house, well, we are going to talk to him about the political statement cabinet we resolve. If this so, then I will be disappointing him. But I've asked people, go ahead and say what they say about Father. So Peter Bevan tells me, it's not Father's page. And guess what I said to you? I said, this cannot be a Thomas Father. Even if I hate you, you will feel where George, you listen for someone to be somewhere. Life doesn't have one stage. It has so many stages. Stage 1 to stage 100. But the place you get is at stage 5, and you become better off. They may not took you from nowhere to somewhere to stage 5, you can go against that person. That is why I always say on this radio. There's no time. I Jalal Griffith will sit on the radio anywhere I am to say negatives about this man for better than I prefer you. He made me politically. He made me to have known George Weah. He made me to have gone in government for the first time. He made me to have built a house in this country. Not build another house, build another house. So I know better than U.S. contribution to me. I cannot be the one, even if he has a worst, I cannot go and talk about it. And I don't think that Thomas Fala can do George Weah, even though they have a difference. Go ahead, George.
Yeah, Jala, why is true that people they are politicians? You know, I listen to Abraham Darius DeLong. I think
Let me welcome Leviticus P. Warman, the Vice President of the Nima University. He's watching us from the CSC Office Administrative Complex. Welcome, Mr. Leviticus P. Warman. Conrad Tiller, our brother, watching us from somewhere. He said, first of all, time for a political party to pay dues. CDC is here for life. Brady Mba, welcome. He says, as Mo Ali, Mr. Situation is thinking about GFNB due payment. I'm equally thanking person we have for the unity dollar for the unity dollar right. Abel Gunti, welcome as well. That's why in the Netherlands. Abel Gunti is passionate from the Netherlands. Welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, so look, I was saying I listened to Abraham Garrett along this morning on Punch and made too many comments, said too many things. And someone asked, but you always follow Yek, his criticism against your government, the government you brought to power. And said to the president, I don't have the power to respond to Yeke because Yeke, he has been very consistent in terms of his support. He has always been with opposition. All he wished for is the right thing to be done. I was like, wow. So I'm saying this to mean that since we started knowing fact on a very serious, it was good that you placed a call to his one of his office staff. But since he was dismissed from CDC, not a day I've ever seen Thomas, to criticize the CDC, either criticizing President Weir. And I think uh, is a good thing for him because anything can happen at any time. Like you said, he's a son. In another way, politically, he's a son to the former president. He goes to political rally. You don't hear him criticize former president Weir. And I think he's still building the way for himself, and in future elections. Because look, other people will leave institutions, they won't live quietly, they will criticize, they will see all the worst things.
Mhm.
But to be honest, I think I'm getting to admire the way he's behaving, very mature on a political
Absolutely.
style.
Absolutely.
I mean, doing things quietly, and he's not criticizing the CDC. You don't hear him
No.
criticize former President Weir.
No.
So it was very good. You call Peter, to get the office side of this and things
And the good thing
psychological.
was that we sat and talked about it before we were there. We had the same position. I said, hey, George, let me hear your point on this matter.
Mhm,
He
mhm.
said to me, Jala, fella, you know better than I do. And I said to you, I don't think you read this stuff on Facebook. If I cannot help you, I will confirm you. Because political features are bleak. Nobody knows the political feature of Liberia. Nobody even knows his political feature. Fala was selling plane, the real yesterday, I guess plane. But they didn't know he's going to come to this point where he is now to be the most fourth man in the country from 2005 to this time. Does he know you want to be maybe once you want to be a president of this country or vice president some days? If he criticizes people who are helping along the way, you also need them to grow up, to
Amen.
go up rather. Why does he do that? Anyway, George, let's move on to the last talking point. There are two, we'll take one and get me safe to Then we'll have the,
Take people
I will get Dante to call guests to know what is around. It will take the representative at 3:05 because we talked earlier. He's going to be here. Representative Debbie from Nigeria, country. But George, the Supreme Court is about to rule. But before then, the president is Excellency Ambassador Doctor Joseph Newman Boakam Keke. When I say Keke, I said the ground low. Keke mean my uncle. Somebody said, Jala, you're criticizing Joseph Boakam. I was saying on the radio. And I challenge, I say, okay, recording, I say, I agree all Joseph Boakam. My uncle, I criticizing. I said, come here, oh, you can be president, I ain't going to stand for. Let me somebody else. And both say, oh, Jala, I challenge you. All my recordings on EFPC, they're on the bumper to page to everyone and say, Jala, Emmanuel Nikki, Kalufagala, Kiang, Jala, want to out. So, Bogoma, Quila, grateful, Joseph Boakam. They can be one. I criticize Joseph Boakam. Oh, you the president of the country. And there are people on the other side who could not be. So, ever had a sound. So, if your side won, my side did not win, don't be an angry winner and put in the public district. Take that. But this is what happened, Josh. In the Nima County by-election, Their reports have been coming from independent media institutions, and that was crowned by Disabilities Party CMC report that there are people in the Unity Party government that own a safari in Lima County. They are campaigning with public vehicles. They have left their offices in violation of the code of conduct, which is against Liberia's the code of good governance process. Knowing fully well that at the time of Austria, they accuse we of people are pulling on what we say on Nafa,
Correct?
Emma Glasgow, and others campaigning for which they went against. They removed the whole ethical commissioners because they said we're campaigning against the code of conduct. But face this now, there are people in the county right now for government power status who are campaigning for the Unity Party. They are using government vehicles and government resources to campaign. And that has come to the attention of the CMC that's waiting the Office of the Ombudsman to ask questions of why they do so. And when you come in out here last week, we had to contact the Honorable Councillor Philip Kanga to ascertain whether he has accepted or received any information from the CMC. His phones were off. We tested him and responded. If he responds, we'll talk about it. What do you think of what's going on with this rumors? What these rumors going
Jala, I'm yet to understand as to why the Unity Party government will always be abusing and violating every law of our country without any regard. And like you said, it is actually section 541 of the Code of
on?
Conduct
Auntie,
that it prohibits appointed officials by the president, those appointed by the president, not to get involved in political activities, not to be seen canvassing for one president or political party.
mhm,
And that same section talks about when you are appointed by the president and you want to participate in election,
mhm.
you resign and go in.
It is spell out.
Very clear.
Okay.
It is also against government appointees using government using government materials to
That
participate like
equals to
vehicle,
go transfer yourself and Nima.
not for campaign purpose. It is against that. But now we're getting report that people that the president appointed, they now in using government vehicles, violating the code of conduct of our country. They are being involved in chanting battle. And it was bad yesterday, but today it is happening. It is good, and we see us celebrating the dancing to what is being done.
Josh. And I like the provision you put, which gives rise to clarity on these matters. And I want to have been disappointed more than you disappointed because these claims we heard from politicians and other people across has been validated by CMC. It's one of the newest political party. Yesterday I heard people calling people names, but in the CMC report that I released, I did not hear the name of any government employee or officials who is campaigning in Nimba. But again, the onus is on the CMC to come and say, I saw George Boye, Minister of Transport, parading people in Nimba. I saw Jalak Grefi, Minister of Foreign Affairs, parading people in Nimba and shouting battle cries. But again, George, having said that, every political contestation will be violations. In when Ellen was in power in a 7 year term, I did not hear from her any type of violation. The party has had a banger to elect the chairperson and vice they were women pick him as secretary general and nomination as chairperson. The Henry family now as as a minister, not minister, but ambassador to Egypt, also appointed, was also elected in that convention. It was at that convention that Ellen Johnson suddenly instructed for ministers and directors and director generals in every place to appoint unity people in government. And she announced it is about time to appoint unity people in government. That brought about the Red Dance event in this country. So that is visible in a large numbers, citizens, opposition people as well. At that convention, we saw large number of people moving to Banga with government vehicles, was in the former Port Tobacco Saleh. My old man, good afternoon to you, Port Tobacco Saleh. You are one of my valued listeners today. Woman Port Tobacco Saleh. Former was the convention was held at the administrative ground there. Government officials took vehicles there in violation of the code of conduct. And the only man who was of the code of conduct then was Augustine Payne Gafuan, the Minister of Foreign Affairs then, who resigned while staying in Washington, UK, in Washington, and he announced that to Horatio Wole, a journalist who died a few years ago, and he said, go and announce the Liberia to have resigned my position as Minister of Foreign Affairs because I want to contest as President of the country. 2 years Augustine Payne Gafuan resigned his position. He was the only respecter of the rule of law in this country. And I salute Gafuan with 2 red hand salute for you, brother. He's been in the country for the last year. I'm not seeing him. I'm not calling him. Your face, I see that. I'm coming on there. He's a business person, though. But I respect because he was respected of the code of conduct. Yet, it got violated by the people. It got violated by citizen people. The reason why Mr. Walker is dismissing people in the government who are seditious is because they wrote Barrett campaigning for George Weah. Right now, not political way. Emma Glasgow is dismissed and replaced by somebody else. At the LTA, the whole of Asia and the whole commission was suspended and replaced because they alleged that they were involved in corruption and SYC, and some of them were involved in canvassing. You have changed the entire board of directors, all because of that, Mr. Boakai. If you said it well, they committed a code of conduct then, and based on that, you are suspending them and dismissing them because we suspend what Boakai does is we suspend them, dismiss
You
them.
don't come back.
Yeah, the woman on the thing they not me at that point. So you know, they ain't coming back.
They're going to be
When
like,
you are suspended, you not come back dismiss. So you dismiss those people and you brought in people who are in the government who are violating the code of conduct today. I've not been named with them, even though I've heard names in the video. I can't put the name to this document because I don't have fights. I wanna say who's sheriff is there if we can finish the minister of justice whatsoever. No. The onus is on the CMC now to come and provide with evidence that SYZ men from FLC, from LWSC, from the SOE, the SYC, or from Minister of Justice were there campaigning against the code of conduct that we all stand for. Excuse me. Then we'll start. We'll see the evidence and we'll start telling Mr. Boga, that minister there, or that down there. He must be dismissed. And what happens is that if Omen Boga doesn't dismiss them or suspend them for time definite, and the ombudsman takes course to investigate them for wrongful participation, the Liberian people will stand against him. There are people he dismissed yesterday and said he was sedition because he participated in election abroad. For George Weah, he dismissed the government. They are Liberians just like people who are also violated. So when you dismiss the people from government, the people will stand against you. We'll use his microphones to elect in the minds of the people. We'll use his microphones to tell them the right, their do's and don'ts. Why must you dismiss a young lady, 35 years old woman, who has brought Nafar to a very high pedigree, or because of political shenanigans. And if others are there, they'll be very smart. They don't put a picture. If you picture outside, we will tell women with this measure. Nobody's above them. They think code of conduct was violated by the Unity Party in 2011. It is not unless it be violated today. Why must you repeat the same history? If that was biased yesterday, it's today. As you said, George, this is despicable. We cannot run this country on one-way train. It is bad. You want to say something with you in on the Supreme Court because I'm not getting out. Yes, Mr. Tito's Debbie, he promised to be here. We talked yesterday. We talked 2 times this morning. He asked me the location of the place I'm going SYC and the topics we discussed. But yet he's not responding. Let me see if
In
that
this in this topic, Madam Jala, I want us to use this opportunity to call on the office of the ombudsman to try to see this matter and ensure that appropriate action is taken against.
let me recognize few of the guys who come our way. Andrew Ganda, something. Do we what? Where in my we in Norfolk County? Sonny Boy Moses, welcome to the show, my young brother and my young brother. Mustafa Mohammed Shari, welcome to one country as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like I was saying, I want to use this to call on the or to urge the office of the ombudsman to take seize of this matter and ensure that those that it will be proven that they are actually using the the government to carry on political activities in Zimbabwe. When it is proven that we can take it, they should not be publicly violating the code of conduct of our country. Now, this is wrong. And if it was wrong yesterday, it is wrong today, and it is wrong forever. What does CDC violated the code of conduct? It doesn't in any way mean that, look, you should come and continue to carry on violation.
And
When
that
you
was
criticize,
the reason why
that was the
yes,
same reason
voted
they
against for the intent that the Ome on road to Joseph Nimon Keke comes in power, he will allow he will not allow this to happen.
Oh, yeah.
So if he allows it to happen now, he acquiesces the violation of the rule of law and has to do a public campaign SYC. But Josh, let me welcome you the guy. Let's go in why anti tries to get to our ears, it becomes no problem. If there's a time we can discuss and we'll open the rest of the time for the
Yeah.
people to
So
talk.
quickly before you
The
come
kids
in,
giveaway,
Jala.
star 9 hash, okay, so number 8. With 100 out there, win 4,000. Star 79 and hash, okay, so number 8. With 100 LD and win $4,000. There's a cash giveaway. Welcome, Mr. Wazo, uh, Wazo, Constrisa Solomon, Washington, looking town. Saturday, Zamoyi Waterwear, watching from Atlanta, US, Georgia. And Saturday, Zamoyi Waterwear, watching Leo and Emancipator Bonga. I pay my $12 for 2025, and I will pay again in 2026. Nothing can stop me from the comeback mission, says. Brabi Emba said, Senator Sir Joseph and other city lawmakers who backed the president, we are the city will constantly be judged by posterity. Saman Kalon, watching from Freetown City, he said. Wow, Saman Kalon, welcome. So let's move in. George is a land market is pending. I'm told that Debbie says he will be here in 10 minutes. That's when they say he comes. The land market where the president, His Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Joseph Newman has asked the Supreme Court that it shouldn't hand out rulings in this matter. The bit of information filed by embattled Speaker J. Konati Kofa against Regime Speaker Nambe Nambe Kong. As we were told last Wednesday, the Supreme Court will have ruled in favor or against one of the parties. But Nyuman Bwaka said, we will hold on for me 2 weeks. Let me have a time to negotiate with these people. Then I asked the question then, why is the president wanting to negotiate now? He had all the time when the ballot started. When the whole impasse started, he didn't intervene. Now he want to intervene. Hasn't seen something bigger than a banana leaf that he wants to negotiate now. This ash falls on the majority members. They will be disgraced politically and just in terms of justice, they will be disgraced judicially. I was asking the question. So it's evident now that Omen Wakai and the people to wait on the truth. We got information that the Supreme Court will be giving a citation for the hearings. So you're giving the president up to tomorrow Tuesday to end his mediation with people if he doesn't do the wrong way. That will be evidence of the fact that if the citation is given to both sides, then it speaks volume and they will put a time there off. But if they went for political pundits and judicial analysts, and political analysts as well, if that day passes and there's no ruling, why they speak to well-meaning people like us who have very much analytical minds, there are some biased decision that we import the president. Joseph Parker obviously we don't want to be the bloody nose. They come and have rule and say, oh, this is wrong, they don't wrong, they want wrong. But if Parker decides to say it is right and he's going to unplace the judiciary, they can do so, but I know they are independent people on the bench. They will not allow themselves to be used in the president based on political pressure. Let's wait and see what happens. We'll talk about this deeply tomorrow. Let's get to pause as we are with the guys, but just in 30 seconds, 1 minute.
Yeah, so I think we've talked about this thing and we'll continue to talk about it. What I want to say is that those at the Supreme Court being informed that it matters. But the conviction, the guys will put their best.
Okay.
But again,
Everybody
looking at the involvement of the president at this time, it tells you that the guys will continue to do their best. They can never be.
But why Omen waiting for that? By the time they put Edwards he said no, you want to talk to the president was president to have resolved this crisis ever since. This impact have been resolved ever since. But the government was misled by people who in higher places who think that they could persuade the Omen. But little the Omen knew that there's no wisdom in their comments. So he said, let me go back and look at it.
Listen to the vice president in the UN interview he had.
Yeah.
He was defending the majority bloc.
Yeah.
So why is this? He was being misled. The president was just misled.
So when I say no, me, I'm not doing it. Just say that want me, and
he's not listening to anybody. He's not getting involved.
Get off, man. Yeah, that's the one me, man. This is Basel, Liberia. 0909 0809 077 are the numbers to call me. Okay, sorry for that. We cannot take a pause. Let's hear you. Welcome, caller. Hello. Caller, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, George.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Jalal Griffith George Wahi.
Oh, good afternoon, George.
Yes, sir. How do you do, my brother?
I'm fine, Jara. And you?
I'm very well.
Jara, this is the ball of Sabu Rasta doing for control to be exactly.
Sabu Rasta, welcome. The man who is on the first call, he manages. What color is it?
Jara, thanks and appreciation to the leadership for the fact that, Jara, the Bible says about equality God say, can a man rob God? And the Bible say yes. And it is good to also pay your money to put your money to where your mouth is. You know, when you place your money here, you get God to talk.
So you paid you yesterday?
But you know the house is yesterday. I put that yesterday.
Okay. Let's hear you in 10 seconds. We know how much time.
Yeah. Jara. I just want to commend you, Jara, for the show. Thank you for the show. Thank you for everything you do for our people. You know, Jara, watching us and presenting with you. Thank you, Jara,
Thank
for
you, Sabu Rasta. Sabu Rasta, thank you. Let's hear the next caller. You can reduce the monitor, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Baby. How you doing?
Is our man who calls from Nicotan, George Barra?
Thank you for your recognition. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Baby. Good afternoon to Mr. Way as well. I'm a James K. Barra, and I'm the chairman of the National Assembly in the facility.
Okay, James.
Mr. Baby, I heard you talking about using government vehicles, government officials, and officials from the United States. So they are campaigning in Libya. Is that strange to you?
It's not strange at all.
Are you acting out of God?
It is not strange at all. I know that.
The people. They say they are humble. Yeah? Humble is nothing to the people. The people downstairs the people in the future and challenge the people. The people completely abuse the rule of law and challenge the constitution of the Republic of Nigeria. President, there's no law and order. The constitution is not respected. Yeah, are you saying that the people
all right. James Barrett, thanks a lot. Let's press this on the line. Let's take quickly. Mr. Jacob, get who you have to just 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds.
So many people same care because
Please do.
there was a case before the justice in Chimo at the time in regards to the violation, quote unquote, violations of the code of conduct. And the justice in Chimo threw that case out because it had no evidence to substance. I listened to one of the persons who are involved with this company in Lima, Mo Ali. People are Jara.
Mo Ali is involved in Captain Lima?
Yeah, in Lima in the weekend. He was
okay,
there.
okay. Then you just put one person in that argument because I didn't know you were there.
Ali was in Lima.
It's good that you need the partner.
Yeah, the law prohibited officials of the different political parties to campaign with government resources. What are government resources? The vehicles and so forth. The law does not prohibit you going to campaign on a holiday, like the weekend, right? So
what means that he used to go there?
You said?
What means that Mo Ali used to go to Nima?
Mo uses private vehicle to go to Nima and pledging the support of the executive.
So listen. Hussein, do not waste our time. You know why?
No.
Whether it's on a weekend, it's on a working day, it doesn't allow you to advise or vote or somebody. That's what you're going to say. You didn't know that one there?
But then people say so. What is in Timor? That case after they were fought for the justice in Timor.
This is the case talking about.
The case involving official campaigning for an individual, right? Mo Ali.
But that's not what I'm saying, brother. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying to you, you are trying to mesmerize me and others to say that because Mo Ali and others want to cast a vote on weekends, so it doesn't owe them, which I say is not correct.
Yeah, but then
no, that's correct. It's not correct. That's the next caller. So, welcome to the next caller. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
All right. Yeah, this is David King.
David King, go ahead. David King, 30 seconds off.
Yeah, I've been interrupted by these criminals that in real life. Jala, I saw the weekend, I saw these people, and other people. They were there, camp back. But somebody to say they did not camp back. in that place there, I think it's
No, you should acknowledge that they can't vibe, but they can't vibe on the weekend. You just ask them. Thank you. Thank you. The next caller is here. All the calls we taken. Hello, welcome. Is the caller there? Keep calling us. Keep calling us. Calls. Hello, welcome. You have 30 seconds. We are
Yeah,
taking
good
calls until our guests come.
afternoon, Mr. Jalabisi.
Good afternoon. Oh, is that Mel Company from
Yes,
Gambasa?
thank you, sir.
Crescent Street. How is
Thank you,
Crescent
brother.
Street this afternoon?
The presidency acquire everything.
Make the intervention
Very
in
good.
25 seconds.
Thank you. Thank you. Look, let me tell you. You see, this election that was election in Lima, there will be a lot of violations. There will be a lot of violations. Even the past president himself, he will remain over there until the election over. And it not going to be so.
The mayor says he's going to amend it. He's going to amend it for the president to be there on the election finish.
And see, so it's not going to be so. I don't know what the government is doing, and whether they're breaking it or the law should take it course. I don't know. Because if you violating like that, probably, we don't know where we're heading.
Thank you, Mike Beman.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mike Beman. Next caller, welcome. Next caller, you are welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Father Labua.
Good afternoon, Father Library here. Welcome. What's your name, sir?
I'm James of Vega, talking to
Baga Bonkane, welcome to Monrovia.
yeah, with the issue of the by-election, every partner was 35, we know that people cannot be elected in the market as that senator is
Hey, one guy, I can't do it. Yeah, one guy, I can't do it.
yes, I have been right now. I know put up the most because not material for the
Yeah, but yeah, you want to say, you get election, you're part of the president, oh, he gone off. Let's call up. Hello, welcome. Hello, welcome. Hello. Hello, welcome. A female caller, welcome.
Hello, Jala.
Good afternoon, welcome, man. How you doing? What's your name?
Yeah, this is my
Ma Water, welcome. How are you, Ma Water? Let's say you
yeah,
in 30 seconds.
for a long time. I've been
Oh, sorry. Thank you for you, yeah?
I want to thank you for you. I thank you for trust. I can follow your effort. Oh, but I want to see.
Okay.
I want to share. I want to thank you for your show. You know that I give you one Saturday to Saturday to the party airport. Last night they brought the first people hard, they go pay people, they pay money to carry and then.
That's what pay the
So
bill.
they say they pay people, they pay people to carry and they think that they didn't have something in the country, we don't know. Or we don't know what they have been doing. No one have been 2023. We're not stupid people and we still have finished. We're not stupid people. So we try to put ourselves together. I want to let one another pay, we don't want to pay the fuck. We know paying the fuck. Like the other way, the other nothing but from our we were people. We saw the bed for the 6 years. We saw the first year. Nobody get food. We feel we done with it. Not waiting for you.
All right. All right, man. Ma Water. The next caller, welcome. Still waiting for Mr. Representative Zed to come. Hello, welcome.
Yeah, good
afternoon. Is Akulu
No, this is Peter David.
Oh, Peter, you know, you sounded like the man who comes from the red light area who already tremendous been here. Peter, welcome, man. How you do? You have 30 seconds, 25 seconds.
Much, Jala and George, for a fascinating discussion. You know, first, let me extend my thanks and appreciation to all physicians and sympathizers that converge at the complexity on this Saturday and not to pay their due. And it was an amazing occasion. And it sent a clear message to the national government, more Ali, just and performing testimony that need to illustrate the activity focusing. Our civilians, we clearly demonstrated to the world that we are not living alone. We are professional and educated people. We are alone in opposition. We are surviving, contributing, notably to work
Okay. I go to that. And I personally thank you. The next call is welcome. Let's hear you. Let's hear this caller. We are still awaiting the representative who comes to have a discussion. Welcome. Let's
Yeah, David.
enter your phone.
Good afternoon.
Jesus. Go off.
Hello.
Welcome, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, you clear now. Your request.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you have on the first.
This is cool. William.
I don't know if I'm quite new. You're getting very bad.
Thank you.
I said the other day, man, I get told me about
Thank you. My quick regarding the two discussion regarding the CBCU payment. Well, thank you to the decision, and I think they are just done us to validate that this government is improving the economy because over the last 6 years, under the CBC administration, we never saw a decision going to pay due because the country was very hard. But today, if you can see that for me saying you have to pay money, there is something happening in the country, and the economy is improving. Thank you. So the issue hello?
In 20 seconds, go ahead.
Yeah. So the issue about the code of conduct, these are the same argument we were making when it was to other challenge the agreement or the agreement for the Supreme Court, and they wanted the agreement said they should resign one of the release one of the positions that they are in, under the party position or the government position in the financial to the court. They wanted to
which one did they win? Which one did they win? The both of them or one? Hello?
Again?
Did they win the both or one?
The court, the one
so the ombudsman told them that you can put in hold your position as Secretary General of the Unity Party and still be FS right?
Yes, they wanted it to court. They took the umbrella to the Supreme Court and they won again. I want it today. It's having the both positions.
And so that's why I gave it a right to vote and you have to come as a give a vote, right?
That is why we give it a vote to find out I'm
what happened is good. Let me admit publicly to you and Coffee, you know why? And I like the way you put it right now. He has challenged you further to go and find a court. We need to read it and get more concern of it. Yeah, thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you.
This caller was here. He dropped. Cyrus Johnson, you're trying to call me. Hello, welcome to the next caller.
Hello, Josh.
Hello, welcome. Jala Griffey and George Wayne.
How you doing?
People welcome to Monrovia. 20 seconds, no time.
Yeah, man. Thank you for the topic. But for me, it was an opportunity to go and do that due payment. People that overlooking it, and for example, if you have a person that tried to pay $100 let me say $100 and $100 US or $100 I want to tell you the one. I want a good money to pay for the election.
Okay.
The one that happened in Lima County, that is fresh media. The day before doing the election, the one person over that. So that's what I want to do. Just ask to see a post. So what happened to the place that was bad at for the government, and then you carry to the nothing up to now.
Thank you. Let me welcome Mr. That's Mr. Henry Thomas Sato, brother Washington. Look at Wayman Sambola. Welcome, big brother. Washington, Granville County. Welcome, Dennis Rogers. Good afternoon, family. I'm Washington. All right, welcome to the next one. Hello, welcome. Oh, you always miss how you gotta wait after this. Welcome, let's hear.
I'm Erickson D. Philip.
Let's hear from you, my brother.
Yes, for now, we would
okay.
So,
Hello.
guys are
See,
interesting.
George, George is asking a question.
Is it una
Hello?
sedition a complaint?
I said, listen to George's question.
Yeah, Kevin.
Is it
Hello.
una sedition a complaint stuff?
No, that majority.
Go ahead, make a point.
No,
Okay, let me tell Sarah Johnson. He keeps calling on this line. Let me Sarah's welcome.
Good evening to Chala Gracie for the weather. Sarah Johnson, afternoon from where the trying to get Joe back at the intersection of this festival from
My man, go all I want to the description.
let me say this to you. The people continue to say why Unity Party, those are in authority, continue to go, need not to go and say now tell you so because the Israel is a big position they had to do the people went to the higher decision party to this was always support all the men who
Okay.
go through the story and the eventual investigation on the case and additional department.
All right, Sarah, thanks a lot. I'll get this here. I want to look for. Let's see this last caller while we try to prepare the lawmaker who has arrived. Let's see this last caller, please. Last one. Hello, welcome, caller. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
You have never picked up this call. Believe me too. I'm going to antagonize myself against you.
Are we talking about too?
You're talking to the chief executive. No, Chala.
But she has any name.
Chala.
Mama, call your name, man.
This is Amos Wakai.
Amos Baga, welcome.
Chala.
Yes, sir, welcome. You have 20 seconds.
All your presentation, if you can give me credit for today, I mean, you got me see all the while. And the simple reason is that I'm going to ask you two questions. And please answer it, my brother. When a person is in an ordinary public space and then they're in a government position, they hide them. How do you refer to the person?
Okay, I think I will answer that question, but I can't answer it right now.
And the simple reason why I'm asking, I continue to listen and monitor all of your presentation from the beginning of the show to almost to the end before you get to. Why are you calling the president? Why can't you get all those things?
Man, listen. Look, this is genius to me. That's why I want to talk to very happy some people that you can have problem with me. You are listening to this conversation over and over on this radio. I give respect to the president because His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Joseph Newman Boakai. You know what he got Keke in Kisi? You know what he got Keke? No, don't uncle me. Don't uncle me. No, don't uncle me. I mean, that's why I'm very best. You sat behind your radio, you have listened to me, and I kept calling it. I don't want those who I don't disrespect the president. I've not done it before. I'm honest radio. I call him on Joseph. I say His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Newman Parker. Everyone listen to radio. I've heard me say that every other day. Do you know what Keke is? That means uncle. He can't tell me say you'll be disappointed. Okay, I'm people to talk so much. Welcome, my brother, right now. I get to your calls now. All the on the lines. This my brother called Alan Brown. He's a living fireman. He's a visitor every morning. The Crown Gospel singer. Bill Williams, welcome for this. This is Allison, welcome. man's not Chupai, Mandodi. A beautiful crown woman from Grand County. His title is my one. Mrs. Cynthia Miki Roberts. A woman who turns from best to best. Who makes the whole world smile. Star 79 and hash 4 let number 8. Live 100 LD and win $4,000. The man is the warrior for the traditional role. Alan Brown is right here. Let me welcome my distinguished brother and friend, long time friend. He is now in the capacity as a lawmaker. He was one of the luckiest young men in Grand County who contested. Amongst many of them, he got elected. And I didn't know that he had been elected on my friend and brother, David Safa Massacre of the Salvation School System on EOB. You know about our guy. He's now represented as Jacob. Wow. I'm glad to see you.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
You got it used by the Cali, but not Cali, but it's a beautiful crying song.
Oh, yeah.
You speak the
Oh, very, very well. And you saw me.
What's the guy's
He said, there is time for everything on earth. No need to fight, no need to worry. God has planned our lives according to his purpose. And so that's why I was shaking my head. And so when you said he's one of the younger person elected, I said, yes. So the song just said it. Everything has time. So
Everything has time.
So I'm here to live at God's time.
Yeah. They'll welcome. So, he is from the minority block of the legislature in the lower house. One of those who have stood behind Representative Fonatic Speaker. And they have been so firm and resolute in that decision. But let's go to Grand Jide. How is it? Which do you represent, rather?
I represent Aswan District number 3, Grand Jide. District number 3 has, in fact, is the largest district in Grand Jide. Yeah. From immediately into Grand Jide, as far as River says, the Kampala side to Zwedru. Then again on your left, all the communities that first lady council, all the communities yeah. So very, very large, very big. All the way down Nima.
Oh, it comes from
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a very big. All the way to River says. All the way to River says.
It means that you've been a campaign of votes actually by doing to make community project advisor.
Exactly. That's right.
How can I do it for a small man like you to win it?
You have to be strategic.
Yeah. As a Grand Jide, how are the young people? I listen that the young people of the country are jobless. There's no job. We have put money in company. I mean, they put
the mountain is there.
And nothing is happening. No company there.
Yeah.
The young people are complaining about jobs. They are treated as well.
Yeah.
Let me hear for you what kind of job important for the people.
So right now they are hoping on government employment, which is not sustainable. Which you can do because government can't just employ everybody. The resources we have should help us to get our people empowered. Unfortunately, the mountain that should have been able to help this job creation has been lying there without the attention. Actually, without the attention of the government, because I'll say that since 2014, the guys who were operating Tutu Mountain folded and went without giving anybody prior notice. They just left. And
what year was that?
2014. 2014, yeah. Immediately after they got the certificate, the permit from the government library to operate. A month later, the guys went back.
What do you suspect? They didn't see anything in the mountain, like sort of value of.
No, the mountain is so rich. It has a lot of things in it. I'm told some recent research, the economic meltdown with Russia and America's problem, their investors, the owners of the company come from Russia, and so
Okay.
that that rift between them and America, I think it caused that, but it was not a major reason for them to have left. Because if you sign a contract, you will say for force majeure for some yes,
And then
type
there's
of
our my
nature,
job.
but there was nothing like that. It will have, I mean, we have Ebola, but companies were still running, and right after Ebola, companies came back. So we have spoken with the government of Liberia more than 100 times. We have focused, we
So
have
you mean you
notified them.
engage the real government of the Burmese government, and nothing has happened?
I know the we are government. I was not in. I'm sure they tried to engage the
Yeah,
we
but
are
your policemen
government.
have done it.
Yes, so I think they did.
The present
So the
government have
present
engaged this
government,
situation.
we have engaged the present government. I have met the president himself and spoken to him about it.
Mhm.
We have met I call it the vice minister. We have met the government minister. We have met the embassy. We have spoken to them. Why haven't you canceling the contract? Because for every 5 years, we have reviewed the contract, but they are nowhere around. So why can we cancel the contract?
So it's still standing.
It's still there.
So if it's not cancelled, like in the case of how you call it, the deal that George has signed with how you call it, Ibo and the Senate told them to cancel it because
Yeah.
if they didn't cancel it, they can ban it.
Yes,
So if the government does not do that, it can it's happening
we
all
still have
Liberia.
claims. Still have claims. So the guys they abandoned the contract. They abandoned our resources.
They
They are
left
not.
equipment there.
They left few of them there. Few of them are there, but they are not used. Then 40 of them now. If you not starting an engine, you know that it's no more useful. So we have told the government cancel the contract. As simple as it is. So if they will sue us, they will sue the government of
Of
Liberia.
course.
But you abandon the contract. There are a lot of things that the government have opportunity to cancel, and I mean, we appreciate other ones we have. There are more than 4 5% of the amount, but we can't do it because the government that should be the one fronting, especially the executive that should be the one fronting for us, they are not making it. So my colleague on the super, and myself, we've been almost on all the radio stations talking about the EABC, okay, speaking about this one, the engaging the government, invited them. I did the first time, Honorable Super, he did the second, did the third, did the fourth. Up to today, nothing has happened. We don't know what the reason, but the government is the government. So our people are stranded, our people are suffering. There's no job opportunity. The young people are all over the place riding motorbikes. Now the most recent job creation they have now is going to get the cocoa motorbike riders moving the cocoa bed from one place to another.
Mm.
Yeah, and trying to get into cocoa farming. But nothing happening there. So everybody looks up to you for help. And I don't blame them. We should be the one to provide opportunities for them. We should be the one speaking to it, help them get job. Everybody have intelligence. They want to work. They are energetic, but they don't have the means. So we should be the one providing the opportunity. If we can provide the opportunity, we must come to us to survive.
Let me go to your district. You have the largest district in terms of mobilization of the young people's effort in providing them jobs or giving them employment. What have you done personally in Mr.
So personally, we said due to the limited funding, we were able to. What we are doing now, we provided. We engage in agriculture. What we did last year, and we are doing again this year, we having a district farms where we provide money for young people to get around, go and till the soil, wash the farm, and pay them. But in terms of job creation, uh, I'm not, I don't have the ability, I don't have the capacity. What we have been able to do is just to continue to engage the government of Liberia. And then the one part of plantation, another thing that we've been trying to do, and we're having a lot of issue is they, the farm, they land right had given the right to the community, to the indigenous. So we didn't prepare ourselves as a country when we passed this law, they informed the natives that when you have the land, you have to use it this way so that it benefits not just you alone, but the community, the country. We gave the land back to the people without the information, without giving them deed, without giving them taxes, how they can use it. Now they have brought in the Burkinabes, and the Burkinabes are burning almost everywhere, all the
They are
trees,
burning all the trees.
all the trees. So
And,
they
and that's since started since every time.
yes, yes, it's nice and
I think has been resolved.
Wait, what now? And so the companies, the logging companies that we have spoken to go to do logging to provide job opportunities, they have moved into the concession areas. So it's difficult for us to provide jobs opportunity because every time you go back to the logging company and go back to FDA to re-demarcate, by the time you turn your back, they move into the forest again with other people. As we speak, I just came from one part of my district, almost around River States, where a logging company is operating. So that logging company, we are making sure that we employ the young people in that community to provide their social corporate responsibility. So right now, that's the only means I have. So I'm making sure that that contract, that MOU is looked at, religiously and is done as it is by our agreement. So I was there and made sure that the community got the money that you get them $36,000 in scholarship in nursery, which is the reforestation, and then the security guard $36,000 they owe them for the past three years. So we made them sure that they give that amount, and then they have to do the rules in the communities. They have to do hand pumps, and they will be able to construct a school building by December, and then another health center by February next year. So the little that we have in our community, I, as their representative, making sure that my oversight responsibility are done, rigorously so that people have the benefit of what it is. But it's difficult because of what we just said. So yeah, but we are trying our best in terms of job creation in that manner.
My young brother George Wayne has a
You earlier on spoke about you involving to agriculture. You made mention of farm intended for the district. How is this being done? Are you getting people there working, and at the end of the day they take something back home? And secondly, is it a farm that you doing the planting, and when you carry on your harvest, you have those stuff that will be produced distributed to the inhabitants of your district?
Yeah, so it's agriculture, but it's actually rice production that we are doing. So because one of my swan farms, if you are very young. So before the war, Senegal was one of the communities that produced a lot of rice. They had a EEC there producing rice, the swan farms. So the swan farms are there. So last year we were able to make 80 plus, 80 plus. So we harvested the rice and gave it back to the community. So this year again, we're doing the same thing. So we get the students come work and pay them, so we are able to get some money to buy happy folks. They're able to, it's not to sustain them, but for a specific time. Then when it's time to harvest, we call the women. They harvest. So now this month by Friday, I'll be back in the district for us to start to brush again, so that we can start to plant. So that's what we do. It's not a monthly. It's not a farm that has to do a monthly staffing, give them monthly staffing. No. So it's just for a specific time, maybe for 2 3 weeks they come to brush the farm, and then they will till the soil. Plant. So there are different groups of people that come. Those that will brush. Those that will till the soil, they will do it. Those that will plant will come and plant. And then time to harvest will come. So over the period of time, we have different groups coming to do it.
What you want to see, and let's do the plan for education. How is it?
Also, for education, I have spoken to the doctor that before my first 6 years are over, we have at least 100 students to graduate from university to have a bachelor degree. So we are aggressively into that. I just put up a 200,000 Liberian dollars for the University of Liberia entrance. So it means that we have close to 67 to 68 students in my district that will take the University of Liberia entrance. And then when that is done, we pay all the time. But as we speak, I have about 40 to 49 persons in university, whether you go to Liberia, the Salvation Army Polytechnic, the Apex University, and the community college. So, and then the top university, 5 of the universities in Liberia, we have students in there. Then we have students in the grade school all across the district. We providing capitals, uniforms. We are to buttress government's effort. There are many teachers who are volunteer teachers, so we are paying volunteer teachers as well.
Now, Debbie, let's come back to Muslim County to the seat of the legislature, which is the first president government, the first president government. There's been this long standing pull up below the capital. You found yourself on one side of the divide. One is the minority bloc that used to as speaker, and the other is the begin speaker, Mr. Nangbe. And so we are at a crossroad. You have ECOWAS visiting Liberia to have these matters resolved. It didn't work first. Second, we told it came back. Now, it didn't work again. The Supreme Court now is in charge of the matter after the side filed in a motion for, how do I call it?
Bill of
information for that. It's been running long. We didn't hear anything except it is the president has asked for a 2 weeks intervention again. Let me hear from you first. Why did he stand by Kofa at the time? And why is he standing firmly by him when all of the benefits have been denied? Or because you stand by the rule?
So I think Liberia should be celebrating some of us who won the best for this country. We took an oath to protect the integrity of this nation. Jada, you're bearing witness. Liberia, in terms of development, infrastructure, economic, or human resource, Liberia is lagging behind. All the countries, as close as we are with Sierra Leone, Guinea, Africa, they are far ahead. Every day you go to you see different things happening. Liberia, our country is just a small country. We are not able to pave the rules, the major rules. We just have one rule from your street to bring it, from your street to Maryland. One rule, we are not able to pave it. From your street to Manakoma, we are not able to pave it. From here to Rubber Sports, we are not able to pave the rule. What does it take to do that? Other countries are doing that. They certainly has the most painful in our communities here. Why are we not doing it? It's because of our mindset. One person wants to take the money and put it in his pocket, and the rest of us should look up to him. We have to stop that. When we were elected on the 15th of January 2024, we were sworn in the office. And we pledged to support, we pledged to uphold the Constitution and the laws of our own governance. So we said before a speaker is elected, simple majority, you must elect it. To remove it, you must have this number of persons. What stop us from doing that if we are similar? What stop us from going back by the law? It didn't say 40% can sit down somewhere and remove this. It didn't say so. It was clear.
It's 49.
49 to a resolution, and it must be in session. You can go and sit down somewhere and say you're going to have session. No, you must be in session. The presiding officer is the speaker. Whether I like Kofa or not, it's not an issue. If I want to remove it, I must do what it is. We are paid by the Liberian people. Taxes. We're not paid to rebel against the Constitution. We're not paid to do the wrong thing. We said that were there before never did the right thing. So we must do the right thing. And that's what we got elected. That's what we canvass for. So we are here now. We can continue to do the wrong thing. So they remove other speaker before. Why this one? We remove other speaker before because they never knew why they were there. We know what we are here for. We can continue in this part. Look at the young people in this country. If we're doing the right thing, the money they took to camp for the sake of our police, if they have put that money into health.
How much do you think they took?
Almost $3 million. $3 million. I'm telling you, sir. Almost $3 million. We paid for the 3 persons hotel every day in RLJ. You feed them. You give them money, 500 almost every week. Man, and you spend to remove them. You spend 25,000 per person. All those amounts, if you look at that, you put that money together and put it into health or put it into education. Yeah, universal Liberia struggle here.
Africans are protesting every other time.
Why every year?
The Southerners are saying they're giving one to the government
Yeah,
that the government has not lived up to the expectation,
it's every
or
year.
else will not charge.
It's every year. So we said, gentlemen, we have to change the way things are done. We're not saying you're wrong for not liking people. It's your right. But let's do the right thing. Come, all of us are colleagues. If you think you have a genuine reason, come, let's talk about it. Come on the floor. Convince us. And if we can do it, we can go ahead and remove the name. The speaker Kufa is not bigger than Liberia. Liberia is our common denominator. We must do the right thing. And to do the right thing, we're coming.
I was surprised that you, as a lawmaker, young lawmaker, who are now you spend more than 2 years or 1 year in power, you chose to go with the rule of law instead of going with people who want to infuse your money, and you use that money for your district. So, and that's how many people have thought.
Yeah, so I'm a young person, but I have integrity. I'm a young person, but I know what's best for life. I have friends who are not Liberians, and they talk to me every day about the country. For us to move this country, we should to live above our own feelings. Liberia will live, Liberia remain. How are we living this place? Anytime you step into responsibilities, your thought should be, what am I leaving behind? Money will come, but good name best. So we want the best name for us, that when we leave tomorrow, we'll be judged. Our children, when they are passing around, they say, that's the child of Jacob. And they say, oh, your father stood for something. And for a revolution, for the country to change, it starts with one person, not the entire country. People will understand the step we're taking today. And the thing is that my district is not proud of it. They say, we like the way you are going. And I was surprised. A week ago, I walked into where hotel in the morning, and I saw some senior citizens.
County.
No, senior citizens everywhere.
Okay.
When I was walking, going to work, they stood up, they left their breakfast, and they were coming for me. I was surprised. When I walked, I said, "What the president said?" He said, "Because you have been able to stand by the law, you are making us proud. Liberia will not be the same." And when we show the Supreme Court, we ruled. This is the former arbiter of justice. They are the one that hear constitutional matters. Some of our colleagues are ignorant, saying, "Oh, the Supreme Court can't do anything. They don't have jurisdiction." People speak out of ignorance in this country a lot.
Do you guys?
Not all people.
I said many people speak out of ignorance in this country.
Do you guys trust the Supreme Court?
Yeah, the Supreme Court is. Where can we go? The Supreme Court is trusted. The Supreme Court is a court of integrity.
Are you willing to abide? Are you willing to abide
100%.
by the ruling of the court?
100%, because that's the only place that can solve our constitutional matter. That's the only place that can, solve our legal issues.
Debbie, before my brother comes in, at some point, I saw you navigating from one of the blocks to the other block. I saw you in the block of Nigeria. And I thinking you have crossed over. This thing happened in normal. Normal. When you went there, and after we went there, they said they have the election, we need that election, they had a number. So when I saw you that, you have crossed over.
No, I cannot.
What were you doing there?
What happened? They are our colleagues. We need to talk to them. In fact, they keep proceeding wrongly. The first time I went there, I heard that they have constituted a committee to investigate Kofa, and they were coming with their findings. So I want to understand who constituted a committee and how many persons were part of the committee. When I went, they read their report. They read their report, and I raised my hand and said, "We want to know the number of persons on our committee, because our committees will always have 7 persons. They ways and means, and they peace and reconciliation. Those are the 2 biggest committees. They will always have 50-50. So if a committee does not meet the criteria 5 or 7, that's not committee. So it should be 7 persons. Then the majority of the committee members, 4 or 5, will sign a report. So when I raised my hand, they read the number of persons, and there were only 2. So that's not a committee. Our legislature does not say you must have 2 persons on a committee. So the report is not involved. So I went there to teach them that they are absolutely wrong.
Okay.
And so
you were at that point.
Yeah, because you have to continue to provide them the information. I know they will not want it because of people, but you have to be on the record. So we went there to provide a record, provide the information so that it can be on the record. So when tomorrow when we are speaking about it, we say at this time the record carry it. Jacob said this, he said that. So our being there was not to support Richard. Richard is not a speaker. Richard knows that he's not a speaker. He's an honorable man. He's a representative, and that is his position. If you want to be represented, I mean, you can come and vote for him, but you must do the right thing. You can hijack the power. You can
Okay.
hijack
Now,
power.
let me ask you some questions. We'll come back to the Supreme Court. But Debbie, I don't know where you stand right now because three of the police have been suspended. Their benefits have been withheld. And then there was reinforcement of suspension for Mr. Marvin Cole, you put a few others, and this is civil. Now, you are now on the minority side. Tell us clearly, do you get your salaries and benefits while you're on the minority side?
So they just suspended us last month.
Oh, you got suspended too,
Yeah. So we were the last batch to say they suspended.
But the first time you're not suspended, well, you get
No, the first time I was not suspended, I was getting my benefits. I was getting my benefit and my salary.
Okay.
Unfortunately for us, our benefit, we don't know what the benefits are now because they stopped coming since November last year. So we have not been getting our benefits, but we've been getting our salary since last year up to just last month. We're not able to get our salary because they say it's laughable. They are not super lawmakers. They are not legal people. They are not doing anything right. But the executive is the one that's supporting the act. The executive, you have no dealing with them in terms of that. It should not. Our constituents, our people elected us. The same certificate they get, that's what we have. So they have no right to do anything they're doing. Look at what they say. Our rule talk about even if this was a legal process, our rule says that we must be suspended for 30 meeting days. And our meeting days are now restricted to session days. They say meeting day, they say session day. So on Monday
So they read the rules upside down.
always to do that. Always. So Monday we have executive. That's meeting. Tuesdays we have session. Wednesday we have committee meetings. Thursday we have session. Friday we have constituent meetings. So those from Monday to Friday are meeting days. So if it was a legal thing, then we'll be looking at from Monday to Friday throughout the week and throughout the month. Those are, but they tell you, oh, 30 session days. How can you, which law says that? But again, we are waiting on the Supreme Court, and we are sure that the Supreme Court will rule. It's not just in ruling for us as a group, we're ruling for Liberia. The Supreme Court has a precedent of ruling in cases like this, and it doesn't. The Supreme Court can't compel. I mean, the Supreme Court is right. There's nothing in our law that says you must be compared in this way. Our law says when we can have quorum, we can compare our colleagues, but how? It was not stated. It has not been clear in how we can compare our colleagues to come. So the Supreme Court can go and put our colleagues.
I used to meeting at minority grounds
Oh yeah.
because there are reports, I saw a post from Akara's way that the president wants to spend additional $250,000 on several lawmakers to come to the South the majority to make a legitimate remove the Speaker.
So we still meeting.
I said something.
Yeah, we are. And just yesterday we had a meeting of our all of us we met. 30 of us we met. In fact, it's 30.
Oh, yeah, you are 30 now.
Yeah, we are 30. 30 of us met and said we are waiting on the Supreme Court to rule whatsoever it is. We know that the Supreme Court cannot rule against itself because this is a case of precedent. It's done it in the case of every school. So every time there are issues like this and a constitutional issue is raised, the Supreme Court looks at the Constitution and says this is it. If you listen to the hearing on the 26th of March, you heard some of the comments that were made. You understand that those were comments. The Supreme Court before today, in December, they have ruled and said the activities of the majority, so-called majority, is total virus. They cited the rule, they cited 49 and said that the Constitution said every 6 years, once every 6 years, the legislature will convene and elect a speaker. And the speaker is or shall be the presiding officer. And that presiding officer is the speaker. So without the speaker, you can't have a session. Except the speaker is not in contract, then the deputy. So the deputy position is nominal. He sits there has an advisor. He doesn't have any major part to play except the speaker gives him the guy would say, go ahead and operate in my absence. But when the speaker is in country, when the speaker is in office, the deputy does not perform in any, he does not represent the House of Representatives. So the Supreme Court has ruled that because there were other ulterior motives, the executive and some elements of the Senate wanted to have their will, they prevailed on on the presidency, they prevailed on all of them, and they had their will to the extent that they moved with police officers in the Capitol building to escort some of us, prevent us from doing our business. So the Supreme Court has ruled and said this is the way you are acting out of power. You don't have the legal power to have session. You don't have the legal power to do what you're doing. And you minority, because you have not had the quorum, you can't make decisions. So because of that, if you act with the number you have, it's out of power. You who call yourself majority, when you act in the manner that the way you're acting is out of power, is out of law, is out of procedure, is illegal. Don't do it. So the Supreme Court has ruled. But because of the ulterior motives of our politicians, their egos, and wanted to get to where we are, that's why you saw what they did.
I have one or two more questions, and we can go to the full lines and either have another couple of questions.
Okay.
But let me welcome Peter Lim Peters. Good afternoon, Mr. Grayfield. Mother Grayfield III. I'm calling from Small Town. This Joseph T. Nyoli says, thanks for the many developments, initiatives that you are undertaking in the part of Grand Judea County. He goes to say, good afternoon. The darkness messing of this country, Grand Judea County. The right representative on Jacob.
I know what you're going to get out of.
Romeo T.S. Call of Conland. Good afternoon, Grand Judea best lawmaker ever. Representative Jacob C. Debbie. He goes to say, Junior Sky, the right representative, he says, Junior Sky says that. Bill Williams, good afternoon. From my enemy says, James H. Williams, good afternoon, Mr. Grayfield. These cancers will not turn our country into a cancer republic, even after 100 years. Let's. So, are you confident the Supreme Court will rule in your favor? Because I've been asking the question, and we hear lawmakers.
So not in our favor, as I said.
In the favor of Liberia?
In the favor of Liberia.
So, the rule in your favor, it means the rule in your favor.
Exactly.
Why is the rule against your favor? It means what?
The
rule
Supreme
against
Court,
Liberia.
the Supreme Court is a court of this country, and the Supreme Court is only looking at the Constitution. So the Constitution says this, and laws are precedents in their fights. So if you don't have the facts, if you don't have the issue, you don't have the case, there's no way for the Supreme Court to rule against or in your favor. You can clearly see that the Constitution is clear, the articles are there, and those are the two articles we're looking at. To remove the mayor, you must have 49. You must come to session and have a resolution. Have you done that? Do you given the mayor due process? No. Have you elected someone who is not a speaker? Yes, you have done that. Why did you do it? The Constitution says you will have parallel sessions. It says you will have one session, and that session will be presided over by the speaker. And the speaker is for nothing according to what we did. So to undo it, you must come back to the session and do the right thing. So that the Supreme Court will be looking at. You're not going to look at what we say as politicians. The Supreme Court will rule according to the Constitution. It will rule according to the law. That's what I know. And they're going to rule in favor of Liberia. This country will have to go forward.
Now, Debbie, the last time I checked, I interviewed Representative Marvin Cole from Bongkade. He reinforced that last Thursday when I heard on the hot one. And he said there'll be unspecified consequences if the court rules in the favor of Liberia, he said, which automatically becomes your ruling and that benefits you. And if the court does not, the court rules and the executive does not give the federal salute for the majority to join you and refuse you guys to come under your government, there will be unspecified consequences.
So he's entitled to his opinion. What he calls unspecified consequences, he had to define that. But what I know is that when the rules is upon us lawmakers to speak with our colleagues for the interest of this country to come to session. And many of them,
if they don't come,
we can tell them. You
keep going the same way you're going.
We can't be have citizens. We have to be we have to be objective. What do we want as a country? Do we want to protect? Do we want a country of law, or we want a country of men? So that then it left the Liberians to decide. If the court says this is the right way, and you still say no, that should be the right way. Say they don't want it, man. They should go and have parallel. If that's what the country wants, then they can go ahead. But for us as Liberia, and those of us who are law abiding, will ensure that the law is protected in the country.
But
It
again,
matters.
Debbie, I come to the same question again.
So
If the court rules
yeah,
in Liberia's favor,
yeah,
quote unquote, your favor,
yeah,
and they say go by the status quo, meaning
yeah,
the
yeah,
majority should come under the government of over,
yeah.
and they refuse to come because of the interference of the executive. And then where do we go?
So if the court rules and the president, who is the head of the government, does not respect the rules of the court, it means that he's undermining his own government. He undermining his own government. He was elected and sworn into office like us to protect the constitution, to defend our country, the integrity of the country. The ECOWAS came, the parliament came, they didn't do anything. They tried. The other guy said no, they were not listening to me. The speaker of the Ghanaian parliament came and said the the minority will always be the majority will have the will, but the rule of law will prevail. So the rule of law is what we're talking about. There's no parliament. There is no country where there are no laws. We have to abide by the laws. So what I'm saying is that many of our colleagues want themselves. They are saying this is not, worth it anymore. We want the Supreme Court to, and when the Supreme Court says this is where it is, they will come. Many of them are tired. We speak to them every day. We interact every day, and as we speak, they are only waiting for the Supreme Court. And
Oh,
I'm telling you, when the Supreme Court rules, there will be a stability. We will have quorum, we'll have session, and Liberia will move on again.
Jacob Debbie, this is the number 3 Grand Judah County is my guest. With a few calls, listen to the people of Liberia. And after that, Jun comes, one of the sponsors of the show. This Alan Brown, my friend and brother. Not friend and brother, I've not seen it for decades. Oh, a decade rather. I got sour welcome this album for Father Catholic Clinton Moncayo Zelway. Corner Honorable Jacob C. Debbie, the people's leader, he ran. There's some accolades here. Star Cell 9 hash, OK level with 8, play 100 LD and win 4,000. That's just false now. The lines are open 07709079007. 080907907 415 that 419 055518411. The female line is 0703 With these few calls, I leave few calls, and we'll come back, and Mr. Onward pick up Debbie will be responding to some of the concerns you raised. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, how you doing, Jara?
You have to make a case very short. No time to go. What's the name?
Yeah, there is my girlfriend.
Welcome to Bagabon County. Welcome to Mumbai.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I just have to report to our representative in Kiro, but let us stand on their ground. Let's try to land of law, not a group of people going to turn our constitution upside down. Then the liberal people sit down and watch it. You know, the guy trying. When they succeed, that means they will turn the country as a bully. Against that threat. So anything they want to do, they will do it. So let us say by all means what is there for by the rule of law in the constitution.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so very much, my big brother. Welcome. 770-907-080-907. The next call is on the line. Welcome to the show. Welcome. How are you? What's your name?
I'm okay. This is the voice of Andrew. I'm Andrew Fire.
Okay, Andrew Friday. So last question. You took to one of a grandchildren. Let's hear you.
Yes, you see, let me appreciate your guest, but I have just one question because this is something that going not just me for many Nigerians when it comes to the constitution, right? Because we have two portions of the constitution that the two sides are different on, and then one thing the minority and share the majority, and then they are in that majority occur in like population. So I want to know now what is process or the mean that the minority share the majority. That's true, and then that's it. And then the question that is in the law that also says that the majority can what we call remove the secret cost. What are those costs that
Okay.
that
Thank you. Thank you. You made a point. We have to go further. Where is the frequency for the countries? Hello, welcome. Let's hear you. Welcome you live from my bureau 104.1.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Okay, so this is DJ Constance. I want to follow up from the honorable there.
Okay, DJ
Now,
Consensus.
if this majority and minority system is working now, what if they look at this one who's acting as a speaker now?
Mhm.
What they were doing when they hot voted and they know they were the majority, where were they? How they figure Copa was voted for. Secondly, Copa is part of both our sustainer. You see, a training or going to work.
Okay. All right. Let's see the next caller. I think it's DJ Constance. Fine. Hello, the next caller. Welcome. You live.
Good afternoon, brother. How are you?
Mr. Mohammed Kitawel.
This is the
Let's see, Mohammed.
I'm really happy not to in the studio. And then who's anyway. Surely, the people, if everything will go, these people, but Liberian people and the chapter, oh, one few, yeah, go sit down one side, the majority or the people. If you do it yesterday, the minority group, different
Okay.
the majority can get away, but the minority can be right. I want to commend the comment unique with the local minority. They might be they made the executive. And I'm trying to say,
All right.
they cannot manipulate they are very honest.
Thank
They
you.
are very supportive.
Thank you, Mohammed. Mohammed. Let me welcome. We have to get it now. Mr. Franklin Abbey. Welcome. The next caller. Let's see.
Good afternoon again.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Thank you. There is Kwewu.
We will welcome you. Have
Kobe.
20 seconds. We gotta go.
Thank you. Let me say good afternoon to Honorable Gidi. Well, all of us we are waiting for people to come out with its ruling, and we pray that the Supreme Court ruling will not go in contradiction with the law and it is ultra vary because the question is Supreme Court needs to tell us that they are ruling is serious absentee because my note is saying you are not what
So, who do you consider as absentee now? Who do you consider as absentee lawmaker?
I believe the absentee lawmakers are not informed.
So it means that because you recognize the United Party regime speaker, so you consider this one to be absentee lawmakers, right? Hello, Kwewu? So because you are a supporter of the United Party, and things have been done unorthodoxly by recognizing minorities, the majority speaker as a legitimate speaker, and you call the other people as absentee lawmakers.
I'm not saying the other guys are absentee. They didn't hear me that we have wanted Supreme Court to come out with ruling because for me, at least,
so if the Supreme Court comes out and gives its approbation to the guys you consider a minority lawmakers, then how will you call the other people now? You call them as lawmakers?
The court, I mean, you also make me to honor.
Thank you, Kwewu.
Somebody to be absentee.
Thank you, Kwewu. The next caller, we'll take 2 calls and call it. Welcome the next caller.
I'm sorry, Mr. Christie.
Good afternoon. All my lines are here. Welcome. Let's hear you.
This is the voice of
Peter, sir, welcome. Let's hear you.
Let me say, thanks and appreciation to the lawmakers. But anytime
in the Bible is that the one who got close across the river, that's the border and get wet.
Okay.
In this case, if the president, this government, doesn't do so. But if for any reason, and the Supreme Court come up for ruling, and they decide to end or aid, why you saying there? The rule of law has said that the rule of law also say, and it's the one that found all responsible government are elected by the people.
Okay.
So we got people, power, got people's will. And other people will, or got people will do them all. The first thing we'll do instead of listening is to people ruling for the rule is not elaborate people.
Thank you.
That's not a great thing. The next thing is to go after those guys, go out and do the right thing.
Thank you. The next caller I get to, unfortunately, the guys are. Good afternoon. Is that my man? Welcome. I just. Oh, Bridget T. Okay, welcome.
I want to tell you, I'm standing by the law. They continue to stand by the law. Nothing should stand them. The 25 kids should not stand them. They stand by the law. I want to be able to stand there before.
Okay.
So we are appealing to him. They stand by the law.
Thank you. Thank you. Unfortunately, I can't for the calls. The calls are coming in a millions. Where am I to buy? Where am I do this? This is Puzzle Liberia 141. Other frequencies in Liberia, in Bangabong County, Magibi County comes alive from Basa County, Bong and Nima counties are also connected to our frequencies. That's what makes our broadcast live. Oh yes, welcome back to the show. Please spice it up as we go to on road. Debbie to give us his comment and maybe give some answers to a few of the questions.
Yes, so thank you so much. I'm grateful for the opportunity. To our callers, I want to tell you thank you for listening and for your farsightedness. Many of you spoke about the rule of law. We as a country, we have come a long way. We have suffered violence. We have suffered uh, disgruntled attitude. We have suffered a lot of things, and we cannot continue as a nation. We were elected to protect this country, and so help us God, we will do our best, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the intimidation, regardless of the condition we find ourselves. We will ensure that the right things are done. We didn't come here to enrich ourselves. We got elected purposely to help change the way the country has been governed. So when the Constitution talks about the minority can compel absent members, the Constitution is clear that the framers know that there will be time where, since we are humans, we will not like the person that we elected to govern us, to be our leader. So because of that, the majority person, many persons will say, we're not going to session because we don't want this man. So the minority, it made emphasis, the minority will have a speaker. The legally elected speaker will be part of the group of persons that will not constitute quorum. So it says, when that happens, in that case, the number of persons that are less than 37 with the speaker will compare their colleagues who are absent to come to session. So they were made the measure of the minority can compare the absent members. It's not a majority, it's an absent members. So they are absent members. We compare them to come. And that can be done by sending the sergeant arm to the various offices to make sure that they come to session.
So the sergeant arm left everyone of you.
Yes, they left at certain
You
time.
can say
We have sergeant arm. Everybody can be. So members can move with speaker. Yes, because they know that we are politicians, we will always have our lights in this way. So members will move the speaker. And to remove the speaker, you must be for the non-person, and you must have a cost. That cost must be made known to us on the floor, where the speaker will recuse himself and be given the due process to be removed. That's how it is. It is not by agreeing one morning and say you're going to agree resolution on the phone, on